Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I'm getting tired. I can tell it's getting near the end of the day and I just can feel the energy levels drop. So this will probably be the last one I record for today and then I'll pick it up tomorrow. So the last time I did stuff, I was working on getting to this point, which is to actually build the methods. And oh, this will be so much fun. I bet it'll just be a grand and glorious adventure. Let's see. So mock method void builder. We want to do this and then do the whole copy v3 engine. And let's change that right away so we don't have conflicts. And we're going to need a value builder as well. Okay. v3 as well. Come into here and change that. Okay. So let's close this now. Close that. Whoa. What did I just do? No. Why? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Close that. So now let's go into the, I don't think it matters which one it is. We're going to say method model. And we're going to say method. And you don't know what that is. But you do now. Yay. So method is marked with does not return. So we could say in the method model, I know what this is. This is that attribute thing. So we could say here, this dot should throw does not return exception. Should throw does not return exception. Well, this is a mock method. We have to know if we got to do that. Okay, so we'll say method is marked with compilation. We are not passing in the compilation. And I'm not being very consistent about where I put these things, but whatever. Put a read-only property in here and change that to being internal. And there we go. So now if we come back over here, we should see should throw does not return exception. Okay. Now, more stuff. Requires forced nullable annotation. I think we did this on the constructor, mock constructor in the v3. Didn't we? Didn't we say something like requires nullable annotation? Yes, we did. So let's go over there. This is on the parameter model. Is this? No, these are the parameter. Oh, yeah. Okay. Requires nullable annotation. Reuse, gotta love it. Let's get the fully qualified name, which I believe we've already done. Type fully qualified name, and that's it. Now the methods containing type get fully qualified name. So if we go to which we closed, of course, method model. So, oh yeah, I do have that there. I already knew that. Containing type fully qualified name. Now, there we go. And we know, even though we made that nullable, we know that that's fine. Method get name. Okay. So we'll say this dot name is equal to method dot get name, whatever that is. And I believe that's probably a string. Yep. Internal. What is it doing anyway? Let's say method dot get name. Probably a whole bunch of junk. Yeah, getting that stuff and that stuff. But by the time we come over here, we're just going to say method name. Maybe not the best of names, but we're saying name there. So, All right. We need here again, requires nullable annotation, but we also now need to add to the parameter model has explicit default value. this dot has explicit default value is equal to the parameter dot has explicit default value. And I bet we're going to want to know, what is the explicit default value? Well, we'll get to that. So now we got that, but we're gonna have to pull all this in and say this dot explicit default value is equal. No, don't get cute. Parameter, its type, that. And this, which since we know has, we say get default, and then that's a string. But that could be, yeah. Let's see what it does here. Well, that's only in the case of that. So we only want to get this like what we're doing here. If this has explicit default value, then we do that. And since that's okay, it's dependent on that. I wish they had a thing like that where you could say, this property will not be null if this is true or something like that. They sort of have those. I'm not sure that's what I want. So what we want to say here is dot default explicit default value. And that takes care of that. We want to get the type fully qualified name. Type fully qualified name attributes. Yes. That would be something now, wouldn't it? So now in the method, not on the parameter, but on the method model, we need to say compile. Why is that? The compilation. Because yes, okay, so now we need to have is unsafe here. This dot is unsafe is equal to method dot is unsafe. And that's an extension method I wrote. Why are you doing this? No, well, it gets confused when I do that, even though it realizes that that's a internal bool is unsafe. And I should put my phone somewhere where it hopefully doesn't buzz as loud. Okay, so now we come back here and we can say method is unsafe, unsafe. We can say method name and method name. I like this that we're not recalculating that every time. That does actually start to get better. And we have get attributes. We'll come back to that later. Okay. We have the member ID, member description, which we've just calculated up above, is public. If it's no, it's method value getting overriding code value. Mock method valued void builder. So what are we doing down there? Wait. Whoa. Oh no, I'm doing that now. God. Darn it. Void builder 3 is take everything from in here, because this is actually the wrong spot. It should be in here, and then take everything down below here and grab that and put that here. Yeah, that was fun. So getting back to what I wanted to do, because this is the void builder. So when I say here, where is that? Yeah, this result.value. Value is a method symbol. So we want to say I really don't know. Get overriding code value because of reasons. This overriding code value. Let's see what that actually is. Method. And now you can be like, you know, now you know. Okay, whatever. So we only set this. We only set this in one spot. I believe we only set it if requires explicit interface implementation. So overriding code value will only be nullable if else. So now we can say, not in the void builder, but in the void builder 3, we can be up here and say overriding code value. There. So that takes care of that. And we can say type kind, containing type kind. This dot containing type kind equals, what are we doing here? Well, we're saying type kind. There. And again, an enumeration is okay. So now we're going to say containing type kind. Method get constraints, which, how often do we call that? Because if we're only calling it in certain conditions, well, you know, we could just call it. What is that giving back here? An immutable array string. Okay. Constraints. This dot constraints is equal to method get constraints. And then you become your read-only property, but guess what? You're going to be an equatable array. I know one of these is going to sneak in somewhere and it's going to bite me. I'm going to have to look through all of these. I really should be taking better notes in this and saying, hey, on all the you know what? Let's start a document. On all the models, ensure all properties are equatable array, not immutable array. Reminders. I'm just gonna keep that as a running checklist right now. Okay, so if we got constraints, then we can come here and say method.constraints. And then there's default constraints, because of course, this dot default constraints is equal to method get default constraints, which is also an immutable array. Wow. Make sure you're that, and make sure you're internal. Okay, and then we can come here and say default constraints, and that adds, and that's good. Okay. There will be many sweeps through the code. I'm absolutely convinced that will happen. Is the method abstract? Let's grab that one. This dot is abstract. Well, I gotta. Method is abstract. And then generate read only, come down here and say internal. And that should go poof. Good. And yep, we've already done some of these, so we're good. Nullable annotation. We can say method contain type kind, which which we've already got. Don't we have flattened? Yes, we do. Contain type get name flattened. We got that. And then we put the method name in here. Name. And yeah, I mean, that pretty much gets us to, well, a lot of stuff down below, which will change because as soon as we come up here and we do method validation, like v3 and v3, no parameter with parameter. Yep. So those are going to start to cause other errors to kick in, but we also need to do the attributes, and that's a whole model thing in itself. So I'm going to leave that for next time because, like I said, I'm tired. I should save all. Let's get that one down. Control-Shift-S. There we go. And then let's commit to good. Continued progress on models. Okay, so next time we're going to do attributes. We're also going to do the void builder. And then if I come in here, we should see the value builder. And let's just change this right now to being method model because we don't want to be screwed up like we did last time. And then we just take that off. And so a fair amount of these, like I could go through these right now, a fair amount of these are already going to be easy to fix, but I'll leave that victory for next time. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.